and we'll be able to pay our respects to IO properly in a dark warehouse playing the filthiest techno that we can possibly muster. What is up, everybody? Welcome to EDM Matters, the news show covering everything that's been happening in our industry this week. From brand new tracks to sensational stories and topics that matter, we're here to fill you in.
I am one of your hosts, Vincent Beck, producer here at EDM Matters, and with me, as always, is the LA Beard Guy and the host of EDM Matters, Matt Meadow. How's it going, Matt?
It's going good. It's been a little while. Actually, I can't say it's been a little while. It's been a couple weeks since we've been back. We took last week off for Thanksgiving. And yeah, had a nice little small group at my mom's house. We had a little bit of an non-traditional Thanksgiving. We had some ham and like a chorizo zucchini stuffing. It was very nice.
That's awesome, Matt. I had like several different meals throughout the day.
Ooh.
We had an amazing turkey, classic Thanksgiving dinner, but for lunch. And then for dinner, we had, I already told you about this, but we had a Wagyu, like A4 grade steak.
Ooh.
And I think I was put into hibernation for the next day because I could not get up because I just ate way too much.
I haven't really even cooked anything in the past 2 weeks because I'm just not in the mood anymore. I was cooked out. Cooked out, yeah. But as I mentioned before, we took Thanksgiving off, so we're playing catch up on a couple stories, and definitely one of the bigger stories of the past 2 weeks is unfortunately techno artist IO passed away, and we're still. I suppose we're waiting on a cause of death, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that important how he died, but the legacy that he leaves behind. I first was made aware of IO, who was going by the name Fox at the time. He was making drum and bass, living in LA. That was around 2014, 2015. So it was a good 6, almost 7 years ago. And I loved his work. He had a ton of amazing flips and remixes and originals. He was releasing on Dim Mak all the time. And that's how I got to know him. I met him at shows. I met him a lot at Space Yacht back in the day. And seeing him evolve into his IO project was like seeing him assume his final form. It brought him so much more joy, and I know that he felt more comfortable doing that. But it's tragic. I mean, we've lost so many people this year already, whether to COVID or any other cause of death. We talked about Cookie Monster not that long ago as a paragon of dubstep, and now IO as a quickly growing techno pillar who was being groomed by Deadmau5 for all intents and purposes. And it's tough to think about the way this year has been going, and that we might have to be in this a little bit longer, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully we will be there soon enough, and we'll be able to pay our respects to IO properly in a dark warehouse playing the filthiest techno that we can possibly muster. So, IO, Garrett, we will miss you dearly, and I know your fans will not forget you. Sorry, yeah. It's never easy talking about death, especially when it's someone your own age in the same industry.
Mhm.
But the show must go on. Next up in our news cycle, this week has been completely inundated with social media posts about Spotify Wrapped. And I don't know about you, Vince, but I love looking at data and statistics, and whatever anybody has to say about Spotify and how much they pay artists or what have you. It's still really cool to look back on my year, see what I've done, discovered musically, and share that with friends. What sort of Spotify Wrapped, if you can remember, did you sort of get?
It's actually kind of embarrassing, but
Really?
but I like finding the humor in things, and
Okay.
I find enjoyment from looking at these stats because my entire 2020 genre wise, I think it's top 5, right? Top
Yeah.
5 genres that we listened to this year. It was like lo-fi, I don't know, like EDM, yeah, no, that was number 2, and then
Yeah.
it was, like, some random genre that I didn't even hear of. It was, like, lo-fi and video game music.
You had lo-fi on there twice?
I don't know why it showed up on there,
Oh my god.
but, um,
That's just a lot of
it's
lo-fi.
kind of embarrassing. I mean, like, it's my work music, it's my wake up,
Yeah.
it's part of my, like, daily routine. I love to chill out and, like, drink coffee to it. Um, but it's just so funny to see EDM just like number 2 and then like lo-fi twice. Um,
All right.
but yeah, that was my 2020. What was yours like, Matt?
EDM was definitely my top genre, which is not surprising at all.
Mhm.
But my top artist, who I believe it was the top 4% of fans for this year, was Baby Metal.
That's amazing. Do you listen to them that much?
I listened to them a lot,
That's
especially
that's awesome.
especially at the beginning of this year, like end of last year. I had their
Yeah.
I think it was the Metal Galaxy album just
Mhm.
on repeat. Like I was listening to it it was Metal Galaxy. I was listening to that a lot. So
I
definitely
went
not
I went through a
surprised.
good month this year listening to them as well.
Yeah.
I think at the time I discovered that Herman Lee from Dragon Force was live streaming, and then I just started listening to Dragon Force and then Baby
Oh,
Metal
yeah.
because I know they've collabed before and
Yes, they have.
um,
On,
speed metal.
yeah, I believe it was on, Road of Resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it's like something on there. Yeah. But yeah, no, I love Baby Metal. And, aside from the stats that Spotify gave out, they also, donated to the National Independent Venue Association, which is very nice of them. They donated $500,000, which is phenomenal. The donation is directed toward more than 30 venues directly impacted by COVID-19, and it's part of the organization's Save Our Stages effort to make sure that our independent venues aren't just gone when everything
Mhm.
comes back, because a lot of venues are owned by ticketing organizations like Ticketmaster and Live Nation or AEG and Golden Voice, and those are cool. They're great venues. It includes Staples Center, Wiltern, the Palladium in LA at least, but it's a lot of the independent venues, the Roxy's, the Moroccan Lounges, the Rainbow Room in LA, that are bringing up some of the more diverse, younger talent. So it's really important that we keep those stages safe. So thank you to Spotify for doing that. I'm sure that our stages very much appreciate it, and so will we once shows are back.
Most definitely.
And I know it's been a really strange year, but at the very least, artists have been putting out a lot of music. So the Grammys this coming year, actually, they just released their nominations, and I actually think they did pretty well for the electronic realm this year. I'm actually pretty happy with it. For best dance recording, that's like a single. We've got Diplo and Side Piece with On My Mind. We got a Disclosure single, My High. We got Flume. We got Kheela. I don't know Jada G. I don't know that
I
person.
haven't heard of them.
Yeah, neither have
yeah.
I. But cool. 4 to 5 ain't bad, at least by my standards.
Mhm.
Best dance electronic album, Arca. Believe I've heard of Arca. I'm not entirely sure. But the rest of the list is Bauer, Disclosure, Kheela, and Madeon. And I swear to God, like I'm almost certain that Disclosure is gonna win that for energy, but I would be so happy if Madeon got that for Good Faith. Like
Mhm.
Madeon Grammy for his sophomore album, I would absolutely fucking love that.
It's a fantastic album that I hope he gets it for sure. And
He
so
deserves it.
cool that he got
Yeah.
nominated. Like I remember seeing that on social. I think like a week ago. Was that when it
Yeah.
was announced? Yeah, I was just
Probably.
like,
Yeah.
whoa, dude! Like, man.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. But
Mhm.
best remix recording is the final one that's like sort of in the dance realm. And we've got the RAC remix of Do You Ever by Phil Good, Morgan Page remixing Imaginary Friends by Deadmau5, Louis Vega remixing Praying for You by Jasper Street and Co. Iman Beck actually getting a huge Grammy nomination for his Roses remix by St. John. I've heard that it's fantastic, and that's massive, massive for Iman Beck, who isn't that big an artist. And finally, we have Haywire and Bazzi. Well, Haywire remixing Young and Alive by Bazzi. And again, Haywire definitely not as big as he deserves to be, but another huge, huge nomination for the little guys in EDM. So, I really didn't pay attention to the rest of the nominations. They don't really matter to me, apply to my worldview. Whoever else gets the stuff, go off, whatever. But as far as dance music goes, pretty happy with this actually. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure I can
I
think of
mean,
other people who. Yeah.
I will admit I haven't like listened to like everything on this list, but
Yeah.
I definitely want to like dig in and see like what's happening here and like I'm excited to see what happens next year when this all goes down and see who wins.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All this. Mhm.
And they are being presented next year on the the January 30th, the 31st of January. They're being presented on the 31st of January. What are you talking about? I didn't stutter. Nothing happened. Don't worry about it. What are you talking about? I'm not listening to you anymore. No. You didn't see anything? No. Nothing.
Moving on, new music, Matt.
Moving on to new music, Vince. Timmy Trumpet dropped a new album called Mad World, and you put his song Not Like You with New World Sound on here. What'd you like about this
Yeah,
one?
and this is featuring Kheela. I haven't heard of Kheela, but I'm assuming they're doing the vocal track for this song,
Mhm.
and this is like a super vibey like uh, I don't know if it's like a house track, but it's like a feel good song. I recommend it to everyone. Add it to your playlist for your drive to work or something like that. And it has this vocal sample that I think Passion Pit used in Sleepyhead. Have you
Really?
listened to this? Have you listened to this yet, Matt?
I'm gonna listen to it right now.
Um,
Oh yeah. Oh, that's definitely Passion Pit.
yeah, yeah. So it's like right there in the beginning.
100%.
So, any of you watching, if you know what that sample is, please
Oh
comment
wow.
down below because I actually want to know is that from something? Like, is that from like a sample pack or whatever? Um, and then up
Wow.
next, we and this or sorry, up next is Stallions by WAVEDASH, and I'm probably gonna botch this, but is that fucking Sid? Is that how you pronounce that?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. I've been kind of just off and on with WAVEDASH. In the beginning, I didn't really listen to them because they made a lot of like heavy dubstep. I guess when they were starting out, right? But
Yes,
I feel like Stallions. This is their like second single from this year, after Dumo Loop or Dummo Loop,
I believe so.
and
Yeah.
it's kind of like a new direction. I feel like for WAVEDASH, it's like this hard hitting like future based sound. Um, that I'm really liking. And I'm really excited to see what comes after this.
Yeah, it's like a
I don't know
very
if you have,
future wavy sound and like super almost like a mix between like Flume and Porter Robinson. It's like future bassy, but like very almost like childlike, and it's like just joy.
Mhm,
Yeah, it's very
exactly.
nice. Yeah, they've got an album coming out probably at this point, probably next year. I don't think they're getting it out before the end of the year. Um,
Yeah.
so I went actually really quick before we got to the next song. I looked it up, the Sleepyhead sample. It is
Okay.
from an artist named Mary O'Hara, who was an Irish traditional folk singer. And the song was called Oromo Baidin from 1952.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Huh.
Yeah. If you're curious, you can go on to whosampled.com and just search up your favorite tracks, and it'll tell you exactly where they got their samples from. This is not an ad, but it's a really cool website. Yeah. So 1952 Irish folk singer. Who would have thought?
Huh.
But next up in our new Music Friday, we've got the new single from Swarm called Fury. And boy, is this just one of his most ridiculously, obnoxiously powerful dubstep tracks. Like,
Yes.
I I first learned of Swarm when he was part of the whole mid-tempo crew with like 1788L, Rez, uh, Slews, At Last, One True God, like all these guys. And I've absolutely loved seeing him evolve into this incredible orchestral bass cinematic composer who just creates these entire landscapes full of sound. And Fury is his heaviest attempt at that sort of sound yet, and he absolutely nails it. It
Mhm.
is one of his if I'm correct, it's one of the few completely solo tracks that he's done lately. He did Heartless with Danny King. He did I'll Never See the World with Brian Lennington. Unbreakable with Julian Day. Drag Me Down with Man of God. So yeah, this is the first track in a while that he's done completely solo since his
Mhm.
Eat Me Alive EP. So that's actually pretty damn cool, and he absolutely nailed it. And our final new music, I can't possibly finish this episode without talking about the Drink the Sea 10-year anniversary edition from the Glitch Mob, which I'm kind of surprised you didn't put on here, Vince.
I yeah, I don't know. I thought we talked about it a few weeks ago, but it's actually out though. Like,
It's actually out. It came out this
yeah.
past Friday, and
Mhm.
a lot of it is remasters. So it's just the same old songs in new quality, which is definitely cool. But you've also got a bunch of sort of remixes or reinterpretations. You got an instrumental. They did a remix of Fourth Movement, Monday, Beyond Right Now, Waiting for the End. And they also dropped sort of a long lost track called Black Aura with Theophilus London that was only available on Bandcamp, but now it is on streaming services everywhere. So if you've never heard that song before, now is your chance to go to the Glitch Mob and listen to Black Aura with Theophilus London. And you can check out all these tracks and more in the EDM Matters Spotify Weekly Picks playlist. That does it. That does it. What you doing, Vince? What you doing? You smacking your table? No, that's not you.
Oh, I think the dog's like there's a dog trying to like get through the door.
Well, tell your dog I'm doing my outro. It's rude. That does it for EDM Chatters. I hope you enjoyed our ramblings and maybe learned a thing or two, possibly about whosampled.com. This is still not an ad. Don't forget to like and comment on this video and subscribe to our channel if you want more exciting EDM content from us. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.
See you guys.